If Montana is on your bucket list to visit, you must visit Livingston and Paradise Valley. Livingston is known for fly fishing. It's been a railroad town since the late 1800s, and it is the gateway to Yellowstone National Park.
Welcome to the American Dream TV, the show that is built on lifestyle, culture, and real estate. I'm your host, Amy Scruggs. In this episode, we are headed to Montana, where we will be featuring PollyAnna Snyder. Let's get this episode started right now.
The search is over, baby. I'm right here, and I got it.
The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media, not owned by a network, commercial-free, unscripted.
I got it.
These are stories for you and by you.
Today we are visiting the historic and charming town of Livingston, Montana. Livingston sits just about 25 to 30 miles east of Bozeman, and you're just about 40 minutes from the airport in Bozeman as well. Livingston is known for fly fishing. It's been a railroad town since the late 1800s, and it is the gateway to Yellowstone National Park. Historic figures that have had a connection with Livingston. Famous residents have been Calamity Jane, Tom Brokaw, and currently John Mayer. We're excited to share this town with you today. It is charming, it has tons of character, and if Montana is on your places to visit, I hope you will put Livingston on your map. Colleen, thank you for coming and joining us here today. We are in lovely downtown Livingston, Montana.
Right.
We're at the Murray Hotel, historic Murray Hotel, here smack dab in the middle of Livingston.
Right.
And this is home for you.
This is my home. Born and raised Livingston, Montana. So
fantastic.
I love it.
So we're going to talk a little bit today about the equity in our homes that we have right now. We've seen a great boom in the real estate market over the past couple of years, and the lowering of interest rates. Of course, I've encouraged all of my clients, if they have an interest rate over 4%, to refinance their homes.
Right.
To bring down the interest payment that they're paying. And then many have looked at taking out some of the equity in their homes to buy a second home. And now a second home could be for many reasons. It could be an investment property. Some of them have college-age children. They might be buying a property in the town where their children are going to school.
Right, yeah.
Okay, and using that as a rental, not only for their children, but for some of their children's friends as well. So that could be a great option for equity in a home.
Sure.
Let's talk about some other ways that we could use that equity in our home.
Well, I love the idea of using the equity in your primary residence to go ahead and pay for maybe a down payment on a second home that you might love, maybe in a beach location. Maybe Montana would be where you would vacation at, so maybe you'd like to purchase a second home here. But another great idea is that we saw some really beautiful land, and sometimes land financing can be a little less ideal terms just for interest rate and down payment terms. You can utilize a cash out refinance on your primary residence to access that money at a much lower interest rate and maybe some more optimal terms. So leaning your primary residence for the purpose of purchasing land, for maybe further something down the road that you want to do, maybe a recreational property, or maybe someday you're going to build a house on it.
Exactly. And we also talked about taking some of those funds and paying off consumer debt.
Right.
Because credit card debt, car debt, there are things that can be much more expensive than the interest on doing a cash out refi.
Right. Did you know that the average interest rate right now on credit cards is about 25%?
Holy cow.
It's so high. It's so high. And remembering that it's revolving debt, so how that debt is actually accrued onto that account is a little bit different than how it accrues onto a mortgage. So the interest rate is so much higher. It's revolving. You're getting tacked on quite a bit of interest if you don't pay off that credit card every single month. So if you could do a cash out refinance on your primary residence, potentially in a mid-threes interest rate, you could really pay off that debt immediately, stretch it out for 30 years, pay it off at a much lower interest rate, and save yourself so much money, both long-term and on the monthly basis.
Exactly. Colleen, I want to thank you for being with us here today in Livingston, your home, here at the historic Murray Hotel. And thank you for talking about equity, utilizing the equity in our homes with either a cash out refi, paying off some credit card debt, buying a second property, maybe buying an investment property for any variety of reasons. And you're such a wealth of knowledge, and you're such an expert in your profession. Thank you for sharing some great ideas with us today, and I really appreciate your time.
You bet. Thank you, PollyAnna.
We'll see you next time.
Perfect.
Buzz, thank you so much for joining us here today.
You bet.
We're taking a look at the reserve at Willow Creek here in Livingston, Montana. We've come out today to see a project, but first I want to introduce sort of our group that we have today. Obviously, I have the pleasure of working with you. I'm based mainly out of the Bozeman office. You're out of the Big Sky office, and you're working with this project here in Livingston. And then I got to have my daughter,
That's cool.
Marin, come join us here today.
Family time.
As well as Emily Iddings, who is your partner.
Yep.
In working together on this project. Emily, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. I'm excited for you guys to see this.
Really appreciate it. We could not have picked a better day to come out here.
Gorgeous.
Buzz, we're out here today to take a look at a project that you're literally bringing to market tomorrow. And we're very excited to hear about. This is the reserve at Willow Creek here in Livingston, Montana. Talk to us a little bit about the history of the project and its intention and what it's going to encompass.
So my client wanted to own a ranch, never has owned a ranch before. He's out of Florida. I actually found this before it came on market. It's about 3,000 acres. He does not want that entirety of acreage to keep up with. So what we're doing is we're splitting off portions of it, and then he's going to put the rest of it in a conservation easement. The first 4 that we're bringing on are all aliquot lots, which are 157 acres, have fantastic views of multiple mountain ranges, and then once those are sold, realistically we probably have another 6 that we'll be bringing on.
Okay, so in total about 10 different parcels between 157 to 160 acres.
So approximately 1,600 acres is what's going to end up being sold.
Fantastic. And I'd like to point out, we've got a variety of mountain ranges, and obviously what has made this valley so famous here just in the past couple of years has been the show Yellowstone. Yeah. And this is going to allow someone to come in. The buyers of these 10 parcels are going to, in essence, have their own mini Yellowstone. That
is the dream of the developer is that we each have our own little Yellowstone. We're working very hard to kind of keep the views to where when you're on your 160-acre parcel, you're not going to see anybody else's house. So truly, you get to be your own little John Dutton in a smaller version. So.
Fantastic. So Buzz, they're going to have panoramic views.
Right.
They're going to have state and National Forest Service access.
Right.
Lots of wildlife. 157 to 160 acres, and yet you're only 20 minutes to downtown Livingston, to the grocery store, or going out to dinner, and you're about an hour from the airport in Bozeman. And they're going to have their slice of Montana.
Yep.
Fantastic. Thanks for letting us come out and see.
Thank you for coming.
The reserve at Willow Creek, and it's going to be great bringing it to market and sharing it with others.
It'll be special for whoever buys here.
You got it. Thanks, Buzz.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
next, PollyAnna had a chance to sit down with a local professional. Let's see what they were talking about.
This afternoon, we're here in Livingston, Montana, and again, just south of Livingston in Paradise Valley. We're at the Tecca Family Ranch, and we're gonna have a couple of interesting folks to introduce you to and some fun activities for you to share in as well. First, I want to introduce you to my very dear friend, Orlando Sanchez from Houston, Texas. And Orlando, you and I met, was it 2012?
Probably about that time.
Roughly 2012, 2013, yeah. You're a Texan by, well, actually, you're Cuban by birth.
Born in Havana, but raised in Texas.
Texas. And you've been very involved in business and politics in Houston. And, you know, why Montana? It's been so long ago since we met, and I'd much rather hear it from you. But why Montana? What were some of the determining factors?
Well, I first came to Montana right after the service in the Air Force. I was about 20 years old and went to Missoula. And I said to myself back then that I'd buy some property someday in Montana.
And so why, what was the significance and attraction to Livingston and Paradise Valley?
Well, I love fishing. I love the Rockies. I love the weather.
Yeah.
Coming from the Gulf Coast, the coastal bend in Texas, it's, as you know, warm year-round and very humid, so it's pleasant here.
And it's fabulous, particularly, I'd say May through October is just, you can't beat it.
No, you can't.
You know, what do you love about Paradise Valley? You love the fishing, but talk to me about the people you've met, the characters you've met. We've often talked about that. And, you know, why you love it so much and what brings you back.
Well, obviously the name says it, Paradise Valley, right? So wherever you are in this valley, there are spectacular views. You're surrounded by mountain ranges, Yellowstone to the south and Crazy Mountains to the north.
Yep.
People are great. I've met a bunch of wonderful people. Enjoy horseback riding with some of them. But, you know, the scenery, the Rockies, and of course access to the Yellowstone River. And I love hiking. I love backpacking in the outdoors, and so I have the Yellowstone probably 29 minutes away.
Exactly, and you have some spectacular views from your property as well.
We do.
You take a look right up at Immigrant Peak, don't you?
That's right.
It's fabulous. Are there any, you know, last words or things that you would want to share about Montana that we haven't touched on?
You know, I tell people all the time, if you want to lower your blood pressure and not use medication, spend time in Montana. Yes, they call it the Treasure State. They call this Paradise Valley, and there's a reason for it.
That's
and
right.
It's, you know, you can sit on your porch and look at any of the mountain ranges, enjoy a glass of wine, some cheese, good company, good conversation. There's always something to do here. You think because you're out here and there doesn't seem to be the high density of a big city, that's not true. You go to a neighbor's house. Last night I was cooking out for my friends.
Great.
Spent the day on a tractor helping him out. He comes over and helps me out, so plenty to do here. One of the things, PollyAnna, is I get up at 5:30 in the morning here.
Well, that's because the sun's up at 5:30 right now.
Yeah, the sun's up even a little earlier than that, but it's the excitement of getting up and spending time up here, and then you know that you have a heck of a long day because it doesn't get dark till, you know, now, and we're just at the end of spring, till about 9:30. But in the summertime, you know, it'll be
I always
dark at
say
10.
we're up. It's up at 5:30 in the summertime because we're so far up in the northern hemisphere that the sun's up at 5:30 and probably doesn't go down till around 10:30. So we have a long day to accomplish and enjoy a lot here in Montana. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. I look forward to seeing you next month.
And thank you for showing me the property.
You're welcome.
Without you, I wouldn't have found it.
I know. Thank you so
You
much.
bet.
And thank all of you for joining us. Orlando Sanchez from Houston, Texas. It has been a pleasure. We miss you, and we'll see you next month.
We'll see you next month.
All right. Thank you. Jane, you and the Tecca family have been here for quite a number of years here in the Paradise Valley. You're really sort of the go-to broker here in town. Why don't you share with us a little bit about how that life is for you, how you're able to serve your clients and broker property here in the Paradise Valley?
Well, living here as long as I have and being married to someone who is third generation, my kids are fourth, my grandkids are fifth, gives us a unique perspective into what it takes to make a living out here, and we are really fortunate that we have this territory to work in, because you cannot beat what goes on in Montana.
Exactly. And you've been a broker for how long?
I got my broker's license in 2012, so that would be 9 years. Back, I got it during the last recession. It was great because I got to learn how to help people that were really in distress. I helped them save their properties. So that was a huge learning experience for me, and it really gave me a perspective.
And Kayla, you know, just this past year, you and Kayla have partnered together. You know, Kayla, your exceedingly awesome claim to fame is 2019, you were Miss Rodeo Montana. How have you best been able to serve your clients, and how is it working with Jane?
One of the best things that I got out of being Miss Rodeo Montana was my networking. I met so many different people, I had a lot of great experiences, and it really just translates into doing my job well.
Right.
And it's been such a blessing having Jane and being able to partner up with her, because between her experience and the time that she's had to learn, I'm just kind of jumping in, and she jokes that it's baptism by fire.
It is baptism by fire. I can attest to that. What would you want to share with the viewers about, you know, what you're most passionate about here in Paradise Valley, Livingston? You know, I've been trying to educate them on there's Livingston, and we're in the valley south of Livingston.
You know, I think that being passionate about the heritage and the culture that comes with this area, it is just so incredibly unique. It is a valley like no other. And having the ability to help farmers and ranchers move on and do something different with their life, or to be able to preserve it for future generations. We do work with attorneys, we help with estate planning. We just have got a really broad base in this valley for helping people do what they need to accomplish.
Well, I'm thankful for the both of you. I can't thank you enough for joining us. You're a valuable part of the team here in Livingston, and anybody would be well served working with both of you.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thanks so much today, and let's take a look at this ranch while we're here. Welcome to 138 Inverness Road here in Livingston, Montana. Come on in. Again, welcome to 138 Inverness Road here in Livingston, Montana. Technically, we are on the south side of Livingston, which is Paradise Valley. Many of us know Paradise Valley through some rather famous shows right now. This is the southern valley outside of Livingston, and is the course that you take to head down to Yellowstone National Park. We wanted to show you Paradise Valley today, and we wanted to bring you to a very modest and very traditional home here in Paradise Valley. The home we're going to see today is 1,715 square feet. It also sits on 20 acres, and it's all on one level, which you will notice today. The best part of this home, my favorite part of the home, is this incredible view that we have. They have a magnificent stone fireplace, with views and windows on either side. The other significant feature of this property is as you look east outside of these picture windows, 361 acres across the street is either state land or Bureau of Land Management property. So what is there is there. It will never be built on. Quite a significant factor. Why don't you follow me into the kitchen? As we leave this great room, you will notice also that it does have vaulted ceilings with beautiful tongue and groove finishing on the ceiling. The house itself is a very open concept. The kitchen, the dining area, all flow into the great room. So conversation, activities can all be enjoyed together. In addition, as you walk into the kitchen, my favorite part, every picture window in this home has incredible views. Now, as we leave the kitchen and great room area, let me take you back to the master bedroom. As I mentioned before, the house itself is a single-level home with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. 2 of the bedrooms are on the back side of the house, including the master. One of the more stylish features of this home is the master bedroom. It has a very large master closet, a vaulted ceiling, as well as a brand new master bathroom. The current owners took one large older bathroom, separated it, bumped out some walls, and created 2 brand new, beautifully contemporary bathrooms. This one is quite exquisite with the navy blue and the various shades of blue that it features. Now, on the north side of the house is a 3rd bedroom that's currently being used as an office. But what I really want to show you is the east side of town that faces these magnificent Ozorki Mountains with a great outdoor living area. Follow me. You've heard me say several times that one of the most dynamic parts of this property are the views. As we step outside, and on the east side of the house is a dynamic and fabulous outdoor deck. It wraps around the entire east and north side of the property, which enables us to have tremendous views from Tom Minor Basin all the way through the east side of the house, north to the Crazy Mountains. The views here are exceptional and they're huge. As I mentioned, we live outside year-round in Montana. We may be bundled up in the winter and we may be skiing, but in the summertime we absorb all that we can outside. We live outside year-round. Lastly, the property also has a great outdoor living area on the south side of the home. It has a grill, a sink, and a fire pit to enjoy on those cool summer nights. Again, if Montana is on your bucket list to visit, you must visit Livingston and Paradise Valley. Thanks again for joining us here at 138 Inverness Road in Livingston, Montana, just shy of Livingston in Paradise Valley.
We have PollyAnna Snyder's latest listings right here. Let's check them out.
1260 Foster Creek Road in Belgrade, Montana is a luxury farmstead perfect for those seeking a quiet place without foregoing the comforts, amenities, and services offered in the charming western town of Belgrade. Though minutes from the airport in downtown Bozeman, this farmstead is a serene and private oasis that has been finely remodeled, enhancing its fine features with the highest quality mind with thoughtful and savvy style. The property features a spacious home for family and guests, an amazing barn for horses and animals, a riding arena, original homestead structures, and Foster Creek that flows through the front of the property. The panoramic views are second to none, and the riding opportunities right off the property for the horse enthusiast are unlimited. This idyllic western setting captures the romance and lure of Montana, offering an authentic setting for true natural living and enjoyment while marveling both your Montana sunrises and sunsets. Wapiti Peak Trail is what Montana dreams are made of. It features sweeping panoramic views, a 5,200 square foot custom remodeled mountain home, and 40 lush acres of incredible equestrian property. You can grab a chairlift, dine downtown Bozeman, or hop on a plane within 15 minutes of this property. You can cook, entertain, and gather in this 4-bedroom, 3-bath home with a vaulted great room and stunning views, hand-scraped hickory floors, and a stone fireplace. You can also dine al fresco on the deck or under the gazebo by the crackling fire pit. Its walkout basement is flooded with light in the game room, library, and family room areas. It also has a full bath and 3 generous bedrooms. The heated 4-car attached garage accommodates extra-large vehicles. In addition, there is a separate 45-foot RV storage, along with a thoughtfully built year-round equine MD barn that boasts 4,752 square feet, 4 oversized in-and-out foaling stalls, Nelson watering stations, indoor hay storage, a round pen, and a riding arena, all located near 600 acres of national and state forest land. This is what Montana dreams are made of. Welcome to 27 Golden Trout Way. Located in a highly desirable Southeast Bozeman subdivision, this home offers true Montana living just minutes away from downtown Bozeman. The kitchen and dining area boasts an open floor plan with gorgeous views of the Bridger Mountains, as well as Mount Ellis. Enjoy this beautiful and functional kitchen with paneled appliances to match the cabinetry and an amazing 5-burner range with a double oven. The living room offers gorgeous natural light and mountain views with a nice fireplace to gather around. Aside from the main level master and 2 extra bedrooms, the basement absolutely shines on its own with 8-foot ceilings, a wet bar, wood-burning stove, and walkout access to the backyard and custom fire pit. .8042 Gallatin Road in Big Sky, Montana, is offered for sale by Stacy Osorio and Courtney King of Engel and Volkers. This idyllic Montana getaway is an incredible private setting on arguably the best fly fishing stretch of the Gallatin River, just minutes away from the biggest skiing in America and all Big Sky has to offer, with Yellowstone National Park just 45 minutes away. The house is set up with 5 bedrooms and is currently a vacation rental that comfortably sleeps 8 to 10. It features a chef's kitchen, billiards room, and a Finnish sauna, just to name a few of the amenities. The property has 300 feet of river frontage in the stretch of the river known as Hog Alley.
Hope you enjoyed this latest episode of the American Dream TV in beautiful Montana. Make sure and follow us on social media and engage in the conversation. I'm your host, Amy Scruggs. We look forward to seeing you next time. And in the meantime, cheers to your American Dream.